Yes, sir. Please ask your friends to join the session soon. We will still wait for 2 3 minutes. Okay. In the yes, in the last session we have started with streams. Anybody having any question in what is input stream, what is output stream, what is reader writer? Anybody having any question in these four classes methods that we have seen in the last class? We have not done the programs yet. We are going to do the programs today. But anybody is having any question in understanding the methods of these four classes that we have seen? Okay, fine. Then I asked you to do some homework on those four classes, input, output. Has anybody tried? Okay, that is fine. If you haven't tried, I want you to try today in the session. I will give you one example, and then you can begin your foundation on that example. My screen is visible to you all. Is my screen visible? Okay, yes. Good. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, say for example, you want to, yes, say for example, you want to write data to file. I have given you four different input output stream classes in homework. The first class was file input stream and same output stream, then buffered input stream and same output stream, then byte array input stream and same output stream, and one more was there. What was another class? I have given you four different classes for homework. Data, yes, data was there. Yes. Data input stream and data output stream, right? Somebody is typing. Yes. Okay. So we are going to see our first example for file input output, where you can, as it is input stream, no, you will have the methods. See, if you want to output data to file, then you remember we have write function, output stream classes. Just think like that. The last session we have seen output stream and we have seen input stream. Okay. In input stream, you had read functions. In output stream, you have write functions, right? Then for all the output classes, for all the output, as a suffix for whatever, whether it is data output, byte array output, buffered output, or file output, for whatever is the output you want to write to destination, so you always use the write method. That is very simple. Okay, write method, and you can write the number of the byte variable, you can pass it and you can write that byte. You can write single byte, or you can write the whole byte itself. It is okay, right? You can even write the byte array. You can even pass a simple byte that we have seen. And same with the read also. Okay, the read function is same, reading the bytes from that stream, which is used for input stream. Okay, the example stand for itself. See, if I try to show it to you, it is going to be the same thing. We are going to create a class. Okay, very simple example. I am showing you the first output stream. Let us try to write the file. Let us try to shift data to a file. Then I am creating my void main, and you can use file output stream class. It is already there in Java IO. So when you click on it, automatically the Java IO package is imported over here. You can choose to import all of them or just one, totally your choice. I can create the object of this file output stream as OB, and we are simply creating the object of that class to access the method. Inside this file output stream, what else you can pass, that I want to show it to you. You can pass here the string name of the file. You can also pass here a string name and boolean append. You can understand. If I pass here true, no, then the file is open for appending the data to it. If I simply pass the name, then the file is open for overwriting the data on that file. Currently, I am not having any file here. Say, for example, I create a new text document here. Okay, I want to create a new text file here. I am creating a new text document. Okay, I'm naming it as, say, for example, A. I am naming this file as A. It is currently empty. the size of this file is 0 bytes, and to get this name of the file, we usually go to properties and we copy the path where the file is located, and we come back to the program. In the name, as it is of a type string, we paste the file name. Now, whenever you go to properties, you will be only given the location of that file. The file name is not included in the properties. To get the file name, we again use here two double slashes. If you remember, it is backslash character constant, right? One backslash means will not provide one backslash. You need another backslash for printing this one backslash, or making this backslash considered. You need one more backslash. That is the reason in here we are using two backslashes over here to separate your directories. And I want to make my pointer of file output stream point to this text file, which I have created newly on the desktop, and it is having no data right now. Now, if you remember the exception classes, if the file doesn't exist, then the IO exception must be caught. You can see here, the exception is reported over here. So I can surround this complete statement by try and catch. That is okay for me. Or another way is I can choose to directly mention here that this method is capable of causing the exception, and the JVM has to handle the exception because the caller of this function is JVM. So JVM has to handle it if the file is not there. Okay, or maybe if some problem is occurring with that file, destination file is not as per what you have mentioned the path here, then it is going to throw the exception. JVM has to handle it out. Okay, so far is this much getting clear in your mind? Yes, sir. Is so far clear to you what we are doing here? Yes, Tushar, Bala, Rishabh, are you getting Devi, Darshan, Dhruvi, Patik, Smith, Shri, are you getting this, what we are doing so far? Okay, fine. Then I have made the file output stream object over here. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. If you're having questions, just let me know. I will help you out. Now I have created the file output stream object over here, OB. If I want to write the data in this file, I will use the method write. It is already there in this file. See, we yesterday also saw your output stream was having 3 different ways of writing the file. One simple byte, one byte array, and one byte array along with the offset and the length, right? You want to copy the value of this byte array from this many offset for this much length from this position, and for this many bytes you want to copy or you want to write the data to your file. We have seen 3 overloaded methods of output stream. The same methods are here also. You can see in file output stream also it is suffixed. Output stream is suffixed over here. So all the methods of this file output stream are going to be here. I can choose to write the whole array. I can choose to write a simple byte also. If I choose to write a simple byte, say for example, I am writing here 70 as 1 byte, which I want to store it in this file. And I always told you never forget to close the stream, because if you don't close the stream, then there could be some data which is in the stream yet and it is not pushed onto the output destination file. So we always use close function to close the stream, and that's it. We are done writing the file. Only these many statements are required to write the file. We are done writing the file. Now if we go ahead and run the program, it is going to work fine. I think one bracket is missing over here. Okay, yes, I have the bracket now. Yes, okay. Now if we run the file, as it is writing bytes, 70 in byte, it is going to mention this in the form of bytes. So if you go ahead, let us see whether it is the program is running properly or not. Yes, it is run properly. It is building properly. Now if we go ahead in this file and check, the 70 is actually the character value of, as it is a text file, no, 70 is actually the character value of F. So it is written capital F in the file. Okay. If I go here again and I change this value to 71, then I told you, as it is not appending the data, the output stream object is not made here such that it can append the data. If you run the file again, it is going to override that value. If we go back again here and if we check, it has overwritten the value by G and is not appending here. If you want your file to append something, then always mention here, comma, I can mention here append true or false. If I mention here true, by default you cannot append, so it is always false. If you mention here true, it means that now you are opening your stream in the append mode. So if I write here now, say for example, if I write here 75, it is going to append the data over there. So if we run it again, if we go back to the file and if we check, it is appending K over here, meaning it is appending the file. So make sure whenever you are opening your stream, whether it is ready for appending or whether it is simply for overwriting, that you can check by this comma separated true and false boolean append variable. That is the first thing. Anybody having any questions so far? How is the file output stream working? Yes, anybody having any questions? How output stream is working? File output stream. Look at the program. We are simply using write function to write the file. We are using write function to write the data in the file. Yes, anybody is having any questions regarding writing the data? Hello, you all are there? Okay, fine. Is anybody having any question in how do we write the bytes to the file? Okay, then we'll see how to read the data from the file. If you want to read the data from the file, I am just commenting this statement out. If I want to read the data from the same file, I can make my input stream object point to the same file. I can make my file input stream object point to the same location. I am creating the object of file input stream because I want to read the file from the same location. Okay, so if I want to read the file, then I'll create the object of input stream reader. I'm creating the object of file input stream, and I can make my input stream point to the same location. I can use the string name over here. As you are not appending the data here, there is no requirement of mentioning true or false. You are simply reading the data, you are not writing it. So append will is not required over here. I'm simply mentioning the name of the file, the same file that we have written right now, and I simply want to read the same file. Then the function for reading the file is read. So I'm creating, a variable of type integer, and I'm using ob.read. Read is going to read out the file as it is stored in integer values. It is stored in character. Same way, whatever is the read operation, what is the read operation doing over here? It is going to read out a single character, and it is storing it in a variable of type integer, which again, if you want to convert it into character, you can definitely do. I'll print the integer value also. Along with that, we can do typecasting and print the character value of that variable also. Everything is fine. You can either directly use the integer value, or you can even print the character out of it. You can simply run the file, and now we can see here in the console 71 is read as integer and it is converted to character. This is the read operation for reading single bytes from your data. If you want to read multiple bytes from your data, then you just need to loop it up. Meaning you can simply apply a loop over here in such a way that whatever is your answer, I'm initializing, I can create an infinite loop over here till your file is reading -1. Meaning while your read operation, however your read operation is happening, no, your read operation on this OB is returning -1. -1 means the end of the file. Till your read operation is returning -1, it has to read the file constantly. Otherwise, it can simply exit the loop. In that case, I can simply print the statement over here along with the integer value also. You can work in both the ways. Either you can use reading single bytes, or you can even read complete file like this. The first way is simply reading one byte. Second way is reading the complete file till the end of the file, that is -1, is not achieved. It is reading the file constantly. Yes, sir. Anybody is having any question in file input stream and output stream? Okay, what about others? Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, sir. Good. Okay, fine. Okay, then we can move on to the next class that we have seen. I told you yesterday also, I have given you 4 different classes to work upon. If you are able to do this file input stream, output stream, you can similarly do buffered input stream, output stream also. I am showing you buffered input stream, output stream for now. Similarly, just like you have file input stream, output stream, you can also use buffered input and output. Now, the buffered input stream and output stream depends on, again, the same thing, from which destination you want to read the data and you want to write the data. If you want to use console over here, yesterday I told you, in the last session we have discussed that inputs can be from file, inputs can be from console, and inputs can be from network. Means you can read the data from your socket via network communication, or from your console, or from your file. We have seen how to input data and output data to file. If you want to do the same thing using buffered input stream, output stream for file, console, and network. See, this file input stream is only targeted for reading and writing to files. But your buffered input and output stream is also capable of reading the data from file, console, as well as from network. If you choose to create the object of buffered input stream and output stream, say in the first case, we are creating the object of buffered output stream wherein you want to write the data somewhere. Okay, say to the file itself. Okay, so if you want to output the data to the file, again you are going to need the file output stream object, because you want to write the data to this file. Which file? Which is whatever file you are pointing over here. To that file you want to write the data first thing. Then your buffered input stream object can be created. I am creating the buffer input stream object over here. And in this output stream object, I am passing the output stream as OB. OB is nothing but your file output stream. Your BR is currently pointing to your OB, which is pointing to your file A. So reading and writing data to file can be simply done using file output stream also, and can also be done using buffered input output stream. If I am outputting the file, I am outputting the data to the file, I am writing it on the file, then I will be using buffered output stream, and I am passing the object of your firstly created file output stream over here. Same thing you can do here also. You can simply, you can simply create the byte array. Say for example, I am creating the byte array now. I am showing you another method, and this byte array is having values like 90, 91, 75, 85, 67, 68, whatever. These are the values of your byte array. If I want to shift this byte array to your file, which is currently pointed with our buffered output stream, then what I can do, I can simply write your br.write. The write function, similarly, just like you had write function in file output stream, you also have buffered output stream write object, and you can pass your array over here. But as I have shown yesterday also, we don't have to forget the flush function. The flush function is going to flush down the stream, and if there are any more bytes left in the stream, then the flush function can clear the stream out, and again the close function can close the stream out. Both the functions are to be used in the same sequence because we are writing the data via the buffered output stream to the file. When you are using simple file output stream, it is simply meant for, the stream is individually meant for writing the data to the file. No need to mention here flush, but whenever you are using buffered output stream for mentioning or writing the data to a file, we always use flush function to flush out the stream so that no data is left over in the file. Now when we run the program, the data is going to be written in the same file a.txt, which is currently open over here on the desktop, and it is appending the data. Because it is appending the data because your output stream object is created in the append mode. If I remove the append mode and if I run it again, then it is going to just simple overwrite the contents of the file. Now we can see that the file contents are completely overwritten. These are the characters or the bytes that you had written when you created the byte array over here. So buffered output stream also needs the object of a file input stream in order to write the data to the file. Yes, sir. Anybody is having any questions so far?
No.
Yes, anybody having any questions so far? Okay, good. Okay, then we'll move on to buffered input stream. Just like you have buffered output stream, you also have buffered input stream. I am commenting this part. And same way for reading the data from the file, we use buffered input stream. As you want to read the data, you will need the object of file input stream, not output stream. Okay, so if I create the object of buffered output input stream, then same thing we can do. Buffered input stream, I am creating BR as the new object of buffered input stream. In this stream, I can pass here the file input stream OB object because I want to fetch the data from the file. So file input stream is passed in the buffered input stream over here. Just like you have done this loop for reading the data, the loop stand itself. The same thing will be done here also. The same thing can be done also for getting this BR over here, for retrieving the value from BR over here. I'm creating the while loop. Initially, I'm making my variable as 0. And as soon as you are reading your data with the read function, whenever your read function is returning -1, meaning there is the end of the file, at that time only I'm going to stop reading the file. Until that time, I'm going to keep on reading the data from your br.read function. That is the meaning of read function, to read the data constantly. As soon as it reaches -1, it reaches the end of the file. Henceforth, the data cannot be read. And I can simply print out the character value of that integer value. It is reading integers. So to print character, I can simply typecast your I to character, and then we can print whatever characters user has entered in the file. Those characters can be printed here also. So this is reading it till the end of the file. If you simply want to read 1 byte, you don't need the loop over here. You can simply write I.read, and you can simply print this directly, in your SOP statement. It is going to print the integer value, and if you want the character out of it, we can directly typecast it to character. That is all this function is doing. It is simply reading the data and it is converting it into, integer and, storing it into integer, and then it is simply printing it. I'm using br.read over here, and I can print I value over here, which is simply nothing but integer value I. If you want to run, it is going to read 1 byte. That is it. This is your first byte 90. It is there in your output. This is your buffered input stream. Yes, sir. Anybody having any question in these 4 classes? We have seen file input stream, output stream, and buffered input stream, output stream. Anybody having any questions in these 4 classes? You can unmute yourself and talk to me if you are having any questions in these 4 classes. Yes, anybody having any questions so far in the 4 classes that we have seen? Buffered input output, file input output stream. We have seen 4 input, 2 input and 2 output classes. Anybody having any questions? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine, no problem. Then, okay, yes, good. Then I'll come to, okay, I'm giving you one example. You need to do it on your own. Of these 4 classes, I am showing you 3. Another one, that is a data input output stream. Please do it on your own. I wanted to experiment things on your own also. Creating a file, how file is getting created in the back end, are you giving the path correctly or not? Are you writing the data correctly or not? Are you reading it properly or not? I want you to experiment that also. I am showing you the 3rd class here. The 3rd class that we have discussed is the byte array output stream and byte array input stream. What is the use of byte array output and input stream? It is used to write the common data which can be written into multiple files at the same time. Okay, if you want to write the same data in multiple files, then we use byte array output stream. It is always going to hold the copy of data, and this class is going to forward that data to multiple streams at the same time. So we need not to worry about copying the data for multiple times. So, instance, if I want to create 2 output stream objects, okay, I am removing the rest of the content for now. Let me remove it. Yes, okay. If you want to create 2 output stream objects of the file output stream, meaning you want 2 files over here, not one. You want to write data to 2 individual files. So I'm creating 2 files. The first is, I'm naming the first one as A. I'm deleting the data from this file for now. I'm making it empty. And the second file, and I'm renaming it as B. And I'm also making both the files empty. They are having 0 bytes. 0 bytes, no content is there in this file. If I get to the properties, I can get the location of this file, and I can use this location for creating the object of output stream. I am creating the object of output stream here, and I am passing the name of the file here. First is a.txt, and second one is I am creating 2 files over here. This can work with multiple files. I am showing you the example with 2 files. I am creating another object over here for a file input stream, and you want to write the data on this both the files at the same time. Then we create the object of byte array output stream, where whenever you want to output data to file, we always use output stream. Whenever you want to read something, we always use input stream. I am creating the object of byte array output stream here because I want to write the data to this file, both the files. Then how do we write the data? Same way, by using the write function. If I am writing 1 byte, say for example I am writing 70 on this byte array output stream, then OB is written on this OB3. This 70 is written on this object. Here there is one more method here. See, for writing we had only 3 methods in all the output stream classes. Here we have an additional method over here, write to, which allows us the flexibility of where do you want to write this content to. I want to write this specific content, that is 70, to which output stream objects do you want to write? I want to write 70 to OB1. I also want to write 70 to OB2 also. In the sense, what I am doing, I am writing this data to this stream. I am not writing the data directly to the file, but your byte array output stream is holding the data, and once you've used the function write to, that data is transferred to destination streams at the same time. So one data can be written on the stream and the same data can be transferred to multiple streams by using byte array output stream. And again, we can definitely use flush to flush out the data, and you can also use close to close the output stream for that matter. Right now, if we run the file, at the same time, write to function is capable of mentioning the data in both the files. See, in A also we have the same data, in B also we have the same data. So if you want to change the data of the file at the same time, if you want to append or maybe overwrite the content of both the file object at the same time, you can write this, you can create one object of OB3 byte array output stream, and you can write this array, you can use this class to write the data to multiple files at the same time. That is for writing the data to multiple streams, multiple output streams using the write to function at the same time. Okay, anybody having any question in byte array output stream class? Okay, anybody having any questions in byte array output stream?
Ma'am, can you please explain this once more?
Okay, if you want to write the data to multiple streams at the same time, then you can use byte array output stream. It is used for, once you are writing this byte to your stream, it is written to your byte array output stream, not to your destination files. So at the same time, if you want to write the same data, so this 70 you want to write to multiple streams, then you can create the object of multiple streams like this, and you can use your write to function to write the same data to multiple streams. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Yes, anybody having any questions in byte array output stream class? Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, no problem. Okay. Then we'll move to, okay, yes, good. Okay. Then I want to show you this byte array input stream. Just like it is used for outputting data to multiple files, it is also used to input stream. It is used to read the byte array as the input stream. So if we create the object of byte array input stream, let me create the object of byte array input stream class. It can, let me remove this first. Okay. If I am creating the object of byte array input stream, say for example OB3 equals to new byte array input stream, I need to pass here byte buffer, right? So I want to read the data in this byte buffer. So I need to create one buffer array over here. I am creating one buffer array. Say for example, I am creating the buffer array over here, and I am reading the data from that buffer array. So I am creating byte array. Say for example, we are naming it as buff, and I am storing different characters over here. If I want to store ABCD, I can use 65, 66, 67, 68, and so on and so forth for storing your character ABCD. And you want to read the data out of it. As soon as your buffer is read into input stream, you can read the data from the input stream. See, currently this byte user can also enter. I am creating the array statically over here. You can read the data from this byte array. You can even input this byte array from user, and you can make this byte array being read from this array input stream by passing that variable over here. And you can read till your end of this array is achieved. You can use the while loop over here, and till your OB3 dot read is not giving you -1. Same thing in the previous examples also. You are creating one integer I, okay, and you are using I equals to ob3 dot read, and till this read is not equals to -1, till that time you want to constantly read the data from this byte array object. So currently it is reading the data from your static mentioned array, which is buffer. Okay. Now you can even take input of this buffer from user and then you can read it to that. The same thing you can do here also by taking the input from user, and then you can use the loop to read the data from that input array by user, and you can convert your input into character. As your I is nothing but a variable of type integer, you can simply use the conversion over here for character, and then you can convert your input to character, and then you can print the value which user has entered in form of characters. That is ABCD, because we have used here 65 to 69. So this byte array input stream, similarly, it is also used for inputting the data, reading the byte array from the stream. The stream currently I'm using here as console. Console in the sense I can create the object of scanner class. I can initialize this byte array. You can definitely do this. No, you can create the byte array like this new byte, and you can use 5 here, where the size of the array is 5. And what you are doing, you are simply taking the input of next byte from user in the loop. If you take the input of next byte from user, you can store that byte in your buffer of I. The same thing you are doing for initializing integer array, the same thing you can do for byte array also, and then you can make your buffer, your byte array input stream to read the data from this stream. From the console that user has entered, you can read the data like that. Got it? Yes. Anybody having any questions in this? Yes. In this 3 classes that we have seen data, we have seen file, we have seen byte array. Anybody having any questions so far? Okay. Then please try. Okay, good. Please try one program. Please try this question. Try to take the data. Try to use this data output stream class. The data output stream for reading files only, just like you have done with this file output stream and file input stream. Same thing you can do with data output stream also. Try to use the class data output stream in your program and try to output the data to the file, and also use data input stream to add the data, read the data from your file. Please try these 2 things. Try to use both the classes, data output stream and data input stream, for reading and writing the data to your file. Please try this question. Try to use both the classes for reading and writing the data to and from your file. Yes, you all are trying this data input stream class, right? Used for data inputting and output from file itself. You can create the object of file because it's easy to see your data handling in file. Please create the file output stream, file input stream object, and write and read the data to and from the file. You all are trying, right? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, sir. Anybody done with the question? Anybody done with the question? Yes, anybody done with the data input stream, output stream question? Or should I help you out? Okay, fine. Tushar is doing. What about others? Parmar, Divya, Pala? It is hardly 2 to 3 lines question. You just have to create the file in output stream object, create the object of data output stream and write the function using write function. That's all. That's all you need to do. It is a very simple question, just like you have done with buffered output stream and byte array and the first example, file output stream. It is like that only. Please try and finish fast. Meanwhile, I'll take the attendance. Ayush?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Rohan? Vipin? Manav? Anuj? Riddhi?
Present, ma'am.
Vidhi? Yashraj? Dash? Mansi? Nikita? Manthan? Smith Kumar?
Yes, ma'am.
Devansh? Tala?
Yes, madam.
Yashang? Dipen?
Yes, ma'am.
Tushar? Yash?
Present.
Manyar? Parmar?
Present, ma'am.
Udairaj? Rishabh? Yes. Ivanchi?
Present.
Janvi? Kanushali? Harshvardhan? Vijayaraj? Adania? Bharti? Avinash?
Present, ma'am.
Pranjul? Limbani?
Present, ma'am.
Arjan? Maharana? Anmairaj? Vignesh Prasad?
Present, ma'am.
Anjwani? Shil Prasad?
I'm Tanmay Raj, PL27.
Shil Prasad? Dhruvi?
Yes, ma'am.
Naitik? Dharmik?
Present, ma'am.
Mohammed? Kunal? Nidhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Arpit,
Yes, ma'am.
Meghna, Yash.
Arpit present, AI 38.
Yes. Meghna is not there. Yes. Yash. Divya,
Yes, ma'am.
Saif Ali, Samir Alam, Isha, Vibhusha,
Present, ma'am.
Om Parikh, Aditya, Kriplani, Aditya Jain, Jaidakan, Priyank,
Present, ma'am.
Tushar,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita, Girish, Pratik,
Yes, ma'am.
enrollment numbers 62. Shri is there. 61, 59, 60, 63, Rima,
Present, no?
yes. Again was there. Goldie, 73. Mohammed, Darshan Raj,
Present, ma'am.
Jaydeep, Smriti,
Present.
Vaishali,
Lady present.
yes. Vasu, Kunal,
Present, ma'am.
Aliwad. Yes, then you all can leave the session.